Tennessee, and we're going to find out everything that they got going on. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy, and I have some guests, a music duo, their husband-wife. It's raw acoustic Americana music, and we're going to be learning about my one and only. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
If you feel good.
Maybe the best description and the most curious one is Southern soul with a heap of curious grit.
Cool. That's pretty cool. So, how did y'all meet? Because I was talking a little bit to y'all before, and I'm guessing y'all met in Nashville. What's y'all's story?
Yeah, so I'm from Alabama, and Ben's from Iowa, and Ben moved here for audio engineering, and I moved here for music. And Ben was working at a cafe in Nashville called Edge Hill Cafe. And me and my old music manager used to always have that as our meeting place. And I saw Ben, and I kept seeing you everywhere. Well, actually the first place we ever saw each other was this small startup church that was meeting in a suburb of Nashville called Antioch. And honestly, there was only maybe 15 people that went to church there, and Ben was playing in the praise and worship. And I seen him, and I thought he was so cute. And I told my best friend, we were just visiting, I said, I'm going to marry him. And then she was like, we shouldn't be checking out guys. And I was like, this is where we're supposed to find them. And she did. And then I did. We've been married 11 years.
That's awesome. So, okay, y'all's backgrounds in music. So you moved to Nashville to be a singer, or you're a musician. What kind of music were you doing at the time?
So I moved to Nashville when I was 19 years old, and I did country, I guess you would say country soul. So growing up, my mom and daddy really listened to such an eclectic mix. It wasn't just country. It was country. It was Lionel Richie, Toby Keith, all the way to just Eric Clapton. So I just really loved soul also. I loved R&B. I loved Ray Charles. And so I kind of just infused those together. And I moved to Nashville to do country soul music. So we don't do that now.
Yeah. So, y'all were talking about meeting at church, and I guess the church was called Antioch, but was it in Antioch? Or was it in Nashville?
It was in Antioch.
It was in Antioch. Okay, I got you. Okay. So, and how about for you, Benjamin? You moved there to be in music production, and I mean that's pretty important, I guess, especially now you have your own studio and everything. I guess how did that journey go for you?
So I was in the youth band when I was a teenager, with friends of ours at our church youth group. And our band name was Freed. And there was this time when we decided we had written a few songs, and we would go into the studio, and we went into small town Iowa, which is where I grew up, and recorded 5 songs in this real small studio. And that kind of was that grabbed a hold of me, that experience in the studio. And I was just like, man, it's such a cool feeling being in the studio. Mm-hmm. It's what I would think about. Maybe I would want to do that for a living. And so that's what got me interested in audio engineering. And from there, I moved to Minneapolis to intern in a studio, and then moved down here to go to audio school. And as you can see, we do a lot of our own audio engineering now, which is really helpful. It's nice to have both of those music the engineering side and the music creative side. So
yeah, was Nashville a shock in any way at all? Whether it was just hey, there's more people, less people, there's good musicians, there's bad musicians. What was y'all's first experience with it?
Yeah, that's funny you ask. Are you originally from the South? So
I'm from Texas. We broadcast from Lamar, Texas, which is where I grew up. I'm originally from Angleton, which y'all are going to be playing on the 4th of January. Right. And so then, I grew up in Lamar from 10 to about 19, and then I moved to Nashville I moved to Columbus, Ohio, then moved to Nashville, and now I'm back here. But yeah.
You know about the South and about Nashville.
Right.
But yeah, it was a shock on many levels to me. You know, I grew up in Iowa, in small town Iowa, and Nashville. I'll say, first of all, I love it because it had a lot of opportunity. There's tons of kinds of music here. And part of the shock was that there were so many people here doing the same thing. I was a guitar player when I moved to Nashville, but I almost felt like I didn't want to play for the first couple of years at all when I first moved here, because it was like everybody played and everybody knew exactly what they were doing, and I was way down on the totem pole. And it took me a while to get over that and to start playing, but it's just Nashville makes you a better musician because there's so much competition. I love it for that. Now, moving from the north to the south was a culture shock in itself, though. You know, the north just has a different way of going about things as the south does, and it took some while to get used to. But I will say that the music in the South, I've learned to love the soul in it and the movement in it, and I don't know. There's something about Southern music that is something special about it.
Yeah. So y'all have been married, I think you said, for 11 years. Did y'all start the band when y'all were dating, and has it evolved, or did y'all start it later?
It's crazy because, okay, when we got together, we both were solo artists. I was doing like country soul, Ben was doing like alternative folk rock. And it was, I don't know, it was weird because we both were just kind of doing our own thing. And so when we started dating, Ben started playing guitar for me. And then he actually started producing like my albums. And we didn't even write together. Like I didn't write with him at all. It's crazy. So then I would say, we didn't even become an official duo until like 4 years ago. And then like, I remember having like this, we did a show at this church and we were like, we have a really big announcement, like don't miss this show. And people came to the show and we're like, surprise, we're going to be a duo. And everybody was like, we thought you were. And we were like, are you serious? Like, so to us, it's only been 4 years, but to everybody else, it's been, I guess, 11. But we've always been our own artists, and we really didn't decide to do this and write together and create this music that we do because honestly, we were so different. We were like, will this work? Because we're both really into what we do. Like, can you mesh these together? Will it make sense? Will it be something beautiful and awesome? Or will it just be like a wreck? And honestly, it was really hard at first to like kind of learn to let go of the way that you like to write or the way you like to do things, kind of just like in marriage. So it was like we were musically getting married, and now that we got over that hump, it's just so natural, and it's like, why didn't we do this 10 years ago, you know? So
yeah,
we weren't ready.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. You know, being married is a journey, and sometimes, you know, has ups and downs enough that whenever you take something that you write and it's so raw and it's so, you know, creative and you're attached to it and it's like, well, I think this is perfect. And then you're trying to take a suggestion. Well, maybe it could be better if you did this. And it's just like, wow, you just tore my heart out. You know, I could see that being a struggle.
Every day.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's funny.
Yeah. So myOneandOnlyMusic.com, that's the website. I know y'all have some shows coming up, and I went and looked at y'all's social media, and y'all are staying very busy, you know, playing a lot. Has that been difficult?
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it's crazy because 2020 in a whole has been hard for everybody, for everyone, but especially people in the entertainment industry and especially people that are independent artists. But I mean, I can honestly say that God has just really provided for us and really taking care of us. And it's crazy to me that we're able to be touring during times like this. It's amazing. It's a blessing. I'm so grateful. Like during COVID, we had a couple of different tours that were booked that clearly were canceled. And so those were a couple of hard months, but we just did a tour a couple months ago in November, and it was so good to be back on the road and just being able to do what we love. Honestly, God's just provided, and He set it up, and you know, we're grateful to be getting out on the road, but we're also we're doing everything the right way. You know, we're social distancing, we're masking up. We care about our fans, and we care about ourselves too. So of course we're taking all the precautions, as are the venues, and it's just literally a blessing to be able to tour during times like this, because there's so many musicians that aren't.
Yes, yeah. So I guess that's January the 2nd. Can y'all kind of walk me through some of these Texas dates where y'all are going to be?
Yeah, so Saturday, January 2nd, we're going to be in Galveston. Mocha Bean, the coffee shop and wine shop down there.
This Saturday.
Yeah. And then the next day, January 3rd, we're in Cypress, Texas, north of Houston at Murdoch's. And then you talked about being from Angleton on the January 7th, which is a Thursday. We'll be at the Dirty South in Angleton, Texas. And then back in the Houston area, back on January 11th at Dan Electro's, which is going to be a really cool Monday night singer-songwriter showcase there right in Houston.
That's awesome. How has it been booking, during this time? Sometimes getting shows is not easy in general. Have y'all just been like calling, or do y'all have someone that helps with booking? How does that go?
Our manager, our booking agent, is amazing. Like, I mean, I've never had anybody better. It's been.
It is me. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I used to say that I booked stuff for Cassie before we were a duo, and then I booked stuff for us for years. But I used to say booking was the worst job I've ever done. And I've learned a lot since then, so it's gotten better. But it is a ton of work.
Yeah.
Just a lot of emailing involved, a lot of logistics, and figuring out what's the best route to go. But you can't always do that because things aren't available. So anyway, yeah, it's been a lot of work, but like Cassie said, it's been a blessing that all these tours we're going on have worked out. They've been great for us. They've been a real blessing. So
this is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:21. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. If you're watching on social media, you'll get some behind-the-scenes stuff as we continue to talk. All right, so yeah, we're still live on social media, but we're off the FM right now. But we can just keep chatting a bit, and then we'll throw it back on here in a bit. So
our Chihuahua is really wanting in the door. He's there.
Is it a boy or girl?
Oh, it's a boy. He's a show stealer.
Let's say, bring him in.
Come on. He's clawing at the door. Come say hi to Grady.
Hey, Chihuahua. What's the Chihuahua's name?
Jackson.
How old is Jackson?
Jackson's an old man. He's 9.
That's awesome. Oh, he's so sweet.
He is so sweet. So we were just on a month-long tour in November, and he went with us. And we toured in a van, and it's just the three of us living it up, living the dream, and he loves to travel.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a benefit. He's a little Chihuahua, so he can just kind of hop in the van and kind of go along.
Yeah, he doesn't take up too much room.
But I don't think we're going to take him on this tour because when we were on tour last month, or whatever month it was snowing in Iowa, and he was outside doing his business, and he was running really fast and didn't see a white gutter, and he hit it, and he's had back problems and had to go to the vet twice. Oh
no! Hey, here's Danielle said, "Hey Jackson, I think people are fans of Jackson."
People are. Oh, Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering. I tried to share it, but I didn't want to look like I was looking down, so I hope it works. Yeah, our friend Danielle. Hey, Danielle, and And I think Jill is watching too. And our friend Jill is actually who connected us with you guys.
Yeah, so Jill, she worked at the Sea Star base, and now she's at the Galveston Regional Chamber of Commerce over there.
She is amazing.
Yeah, Jill's really, she's awesome. Yeah, Jill's helped us out a lot. She's a good connection for everything.
We met her in Nashville.
Yeah. How do y'all know Jill?
So we see, when we're in Nashville, we play about 4 days a week downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing at a place on 2nd Avenue called Benchmark. And she was walking down the street with some friends and heard us singing through the window. And she came in and sat down at a little booth right up front and stayed with us our whole set. And we've been friends ever since. Because I know if you know Jill, you know that you just instantly love her, and she becomes like you want her to be your best friend.
Yeah.
Like she's the sweetest. And so we've did some private parties at her place, and I say that she's our Galveston manager.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, that's cool. I'm glad y'all are going to be down here. Just a reminder, I guess that's this Saturday. They're going to be at the Mocha Bean Coffee and Wine Bar, 7 o'clock in Galveston, Texas. So that's your opportunity to come hang out with my one and only, and then maybe even get to see Jill. So yeah, that's a plus as well.
We'll get her up to sing a song probably.
Yeah, Jill, you gonna sing?
Does Jill sing?
We'll find out.
Everybody sings. Well, I'm excited for that. That in general, for Jill's debut, maybe.
She's probably like, what?
Yeah. So I saw y'all have a new single, I believe. Is that I watched the video for the song and everything. Can y'all talk about some of the music?
Which song are you talking about?
Well, I can pull it up. I had closed it out, but
are you talking about Straight Line or Naturally?
I'm not sure. There was a video. It was I can pull it up. Hang on.
What, was I wearing this exact same shirt?
Yes.
Straight Line.
Okay.
I rarely wear this shirt, and I was like, I bet he's talking about this shirt. It's like, you can't forget this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Straight Lines.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's our newest single.
Yeah.
And during COVID and quarantine, we had to get real creative with making videos because people weren't coming over and couldn't hire people and stuff like that. So we were getting real creative with just the two of us. And so there's several videos that we made where there was nobody else, but we did it like in such a way that it looked like there was other people filming. And so it was a lot of fun doing that stuff. And Straight Line, that video is one of those. We filmed part of it at a construction site right next to our house. Yeah. So, and the rest of it in our basement.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's the creative genius. Like, he comes up with these things, and I'm like, okay. And I would just be like, okay, let's just set up a camera here. But he's like, let's do this. Let's hang this from here. And let's do this. And I'm like, I just sit there and sing.
Yeah. Filming videos is one thing, and we do a lot of videos at KHEA, but filming music videos is something totally different because you have, 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes, however long your song is. And if you're trying to match it up and get these different angles, you have to listen to the same song. And it's your own song, and you may love it, but at the end, at least for me and stuff that I've been involved in, it's like, if I never heard this song again, I may be okay. And it's my own, something I'm involved with. It's funny.
Well, we got to play those songs every night too.
And what's weird is like trying to like lip sync because it has to match exactly the way you recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like I'm such a like feel kind of singer, so like I changed how I sing it every time, and then I'm like crap. So then I'm having to start over because I'm not matching up, and I don't want to like be off on the words. So
yeah,
that's always difficult for me.
Yeah. That's funny.
I see that our friend Charles from Uganda, Africa is watching.
Oh, Charles.
Cassie and I, we've made several trips to Rwanda and Uganda. And Charles is the one that basically organized and did everything for our, I guess I'll call it like a youth conference tour in the northern cities of Uganda. And he just said, or he's watching. He says he loves us. So
We love you, Ben.
Charles, good to hear from you, man.
Hey, Charles. Have y'all done a lot of that? Is that, like mission work or youth stuff like that, traveling to other countries?
So we've been to Rwanda 7 times.
Wow.
And Uganda twice. And the Uganda thing came a little bit later. Like I said, it was like basically you could boil it down to being like youth conferences.
Mm-hmm.
So we would do some worship music. We would do some original music for a lot of crowds of Ugandan youth. And that was in conjunction with a church over there. And Charles is a part of that church and that organization.
And Charles did everything.
He did everything. One
man.
I love that guy.
He is the most kind, selfless person I've ever met. He's the man. Yeah.
So, y'all mentioned earlier, meeting at church. Whenever I think, and I didn't realize this, but Nashville, it's really big for country music and Christian music. And Christian music has changed a lot since I was a kid. I remember growing up listening to like DC Talk, the Newsboys. There was actual, Christian rock bands. But here now, I mean, they're still out there, but it's more switched to like worship. And it just reminded me of this whenever y'all were talking about playing those youth conferences and, worship music and originals. Has there been a revival of any rock music at all, like in Nashville, that y'all have noticed? Is there anything when it comes to Christian music? Or is it still like worship?
I'm not really on keeping up with that. I hadn't really noticed anything. I mean, I think there's a lot of the, contemporary Christian. I think that the Christian rock stuff, from what I gather, is probably more like underground indie stuff now. I feel like a lot of that's happening.
I was just wondering, y'all are there. I was like, is there anything coming back? Is there anything? But
because they don't play it on the radio. So it's hard for it to like, you know what I'm saying? Because like Firefly. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like that kind of stuff doesn't get played on the radio a lot. But I do feel like, because Ben's best friend is a youth pastor, and he sent us some videos from their like youth thing that they went to, and it was rock. I mean, it was pretty rocking. The music was rocking.
Yeah. So
maybe there is that whole, like you said, underground, like you just don't know. Or maybe we're just not cool and we don't know. That's probably it.
That's funny. All right, I'm going to kick us back on the FM, and then we can remind everybody how they can check out, your music and social media, and then the dates. All right?
Great. Cool.
All right, here we go. Good morning, this is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 9:31. That's Bright Work Music with Loving Rescue on KHEA Radio. So we have some guests that are zoomed in, and they're joining us from Nashville, Tennessee. We have my one and only with Cassie and Benjamin. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good morning.
We're doing good.
And we got Jackson as well. So if you're not watching on Facebook or can't see the video, we have Jackson joining us, who is a Chihuahua, and he's waving. Yeah. So if somebody wants to check out your music, buy it, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, let's see. We're all on Spotify and Apple Music, so check us out. My one and only. Give us a little follow on Spotify if you like what you're hearing. But we have our website. It's also myoneandonlymusic.com.
All right. And from there, they can pretty much have links to everything, right? All the social media.
Yeah. Facebook and Instagram, YouTube's on there. So
cool.
Check it out.
All right. How about tour dates?
Yeah, so we're going to be playing all over Texas, but I'll speak about some of the shows around Houston. January 2nd, we're playing in Galveston, Mocha, Bean, and Coffee and Wine Bar. That's this Saturday. And then January 3rd, the next day, is up in Cypress, Texas, north of Houston at Murdoch's. January 7th is in your old stomping grounds, Angleton, Texas, at the Dirty South. And then we come back to Houston on January 11th, which is a Monday, doing a singer-songwriter showcase at Dan Electro's.
All right. So it's almost the new year. 2020's been interesting. What is the hope that y'all have, the goals that y'all have for My One and Only in 2021?
Man, first of all, I'm so excited for 2021 because as I look back at a vision board that we did on a date night, it makes me chuckle.
Cringe.
It makes me chuckle as if that was a bad dream. But
Yeah.
through all tragedy comes beauty. And so I'm just believing that this year is just going to be great. And I'm just, for us personally, for me personally, I just want to be able to continue playing music, be in good health, be on the road, connecting with people, and really just getting back on the road and giving music to people that have been probably longing for live music, as we have, of wanting to get out there. So I hope that this new year brings lots of new music, that we just get to connect with people on a deeper level, and that our health is good, and we can just keep rocking it out. Not that we don't rock.
Americana rocking.
Yeah, I love it. So myoneandonlymusic.com. It's husband, wife, raw acoustic Americana music. You can go check them out on Apple Music, Spotify. Go to their website and you can have links to everything. They're going to be in our area starting this Saturday at Jamocha Bean Coffee and Wine Bar at 7 o'clock in Galveston, Texas. So, guys, is there anything else y'all would like to share this morning?
Yeah, hopefully the listeners and the watchers on Facebook, like Cassie said, haven't seen, probably a lot of us haven't seen live music in a while. And if you are tired of being at home, cooking your pizza rolls and watching Netflix,
making banana nut bread,
and, Skyping people, come out and see us face to face.
From a distance.
Yeah. We'll be, doing the precautions, the masks and everything. If you feel comfortable and you want to, come on out. We'd love to have you.
We would just love it. So thank you so much for having us too. And for supporting us. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
For supporting live music.
Of course. Thank you so much again. My One and Only Music. Make sure you check them out. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right, hey, social media, y'all be blessed. Have a good day. Make sure that you go follow them.